creepy experiences, strange,
You won't believe us.
spooky, paranormal experiences that happen to us on a regular, almost daily basis.
Phoenix Awakened podcast of Alison and Jason. Hi everyone, welcome back to Phoenix Awakened. I'm Jason.
I'm your host, Alison.
So we have a very special treat for you. It is
creepy experiences, strange,
you won't believe us.
Spooky, paranormal experiences that happen to us on a regular, almost daily basis.
Yeah, and people that will see us on TikTok and Shorts will probably say that we're psychopaths and we need to get medicated.
We have had that. We have had that before. Anyway, this is our journey of how we came into this house and the strange phenomenon that we have encountered while living in this house.
Yeah, good word.
Yeah, strange phenomenon.
So paint the story of the beginning.
Before we moved into this house, obviously we lived somewhere else, and unfortunately we were renting at the time. The landlord decided that he wanted to sell up house, which is fine, perfectly fine.
So we're there for 12 months.
We were there for 12 months because we were on a contract, so they had to wait until the 12 months was up. But they gave us, I think it's 60 days to find a new place or something along those lines. And I looked. Part of my job was to find a new house, and I looked, and we went to all these different inspections, and we just kept going and going. I don't even know for how long we kept going.
We looked at like 30
Oh,
homes,
we looked
40
at
homes.
so many houses, and some of them are not pretty, let me tell you. They were not pretty at all.
Dodgy.
Yeah, very dodgy. Anyway, cutting that story short, we come to here and I open up the laptop and I check out the house and I'm like, Jason, this is the house. But I couldn't actually go to the inspection. Jason had to go to the inspection because I was busy. I think you had the day off or something along those lines. So Jason had to go to the inspection. So what happened to you? You came in and you were like, yep, I'll take it right now.
Yeah, so there was probably 20 people looking at the house, and I was only the single one there. I had my shirt and pants on, so I looked okay. And there was a lot of families here, and I'm walking around thinking, oh, it's got the floorboards that you want. The kitchen was dodgy. I didn't like the kitchen. The benches were a bit old and ratty. They still are. Like, it wasn't perfect, but it was one of the nicest houses that we saw. And energetically, it was okay. I said to the Chinese Asian real estate, I'll take it. I love it. When can I move in? And he's like looking at me saying, well, you've got to compete against everybody else. I went, that's okay. But just letting you know, I want this house. And then we got the house.
Let me paint a picture for you of the places that we lived in briefly so you can understand our situation here. Also, not on a physical level, but on an energetic level. I lived in a 2-bedroom unit where it was, like you said, the dark astral realm. There was a lot of stuff that went on there. I literally saw a full apparition of a grey alien in my living room. Full apparition. I saw a full apparition of let's say a lizard person.
We call them reptilians.
In my bedroom. So this is my living room. This is my living space by myself. Jason lived...
Oh, don't forget the lucid dream, which is also on another podcast we did about you shooting bots, AI bots.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened in this 2-bedroom unit. This army of robots were coming after me. So I was literally shooting at this robot trying to protect everything. Jason, on the other hand, was living in a cottage. Yep. And if you haven't checked out Fighting Monsters episode, that is Jason's story of his energetic, interesting phenomena of what happens when he was living by himself. Then when we decided to move in together, we lived in a 3-bedroom house, but we called it kind of Stepford Wives because it had some kind of eerie Stepford Wives.
It was AI Central as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't forget to tell everyone about our ghost.
Well, that's what I was getting to. I was actually getting to Sam. So then as we're going along, one morning I see my computer topple over and you know a computer, it's very hard to push
It was a Mac.
It was a Mac. It's like, it's not that easy. You got to like give it a bit of a push to topple over. I get up for work one morning, the Mac is on the floor and I'm freaking out bad. And then we find out that there was actually a spirit living in the house named Sam, and he was just letting us know
that he was there.
That he was there, and he was a little upset with me because I thought he was evil.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, not good. Because I had a lot of stuff, going on back then. Living there for 12 months, fast forward to now, find this house, and the adventures of what happens energetically have not stopped, especially in this house. We have lived here for now probably 3 years. This is our third year. And one of the instances, it's interesting how this room has changed so much. Before, this used to be a podcast room. This room used to be our bedroom. And then it changed into the magic room where we spoke about Jason's clearing sprays before that. And then it was kind of the spare room, and now it's become a podcast room. When we moved in here, we actually didn't realize what was going on energetically in this place. We had no idea, like we said before. We moved into another bedroom because the other bedroom had air conditioning. But then what we discovered in this bedroom was that there was actually a pentagram on the floor.
And we didn't know there was, and this is an energetic pentagram, not like a physical
It's not drawn, no.
Because we thought it's too hot. We took the bed apart and the mattress and everything, and then Alison all of a sudden said, "Oh, there's a pentagram here." I'm thinking, I'm looking around for a drawn pentagram. As I said, that's not about physical drawn pentagram. It was placed here by, let's just say, magical women.
Yeah.
And it was back before these houses in Burbia was all paddocks. So it was just all open land, really. So we're not quite too sure on the time frame. Might have been late 1900s. We're not too sure, but it was quite a while ago.
Yeah. The reason why I was able to pick it up is because I'm magical as well. We're both magical, and I was able to pick it up in this room. And the information that I was shown or got told is that this pentagram represented a group of females who were hurt by men. They were hurt by men, and they were emotionally hurt by men. And they had created this being to take revenge on these men. I saw the being that they created, and the being, unfortunately the being couldn't help but who the being was, really. But that was what was going on in this room.
Because we had to do a tuning to find out all this stuff. So we both sat against the walls, and we sat and did a tuning. That's where we got this information from.
Yeah.
And the visuals from.
Yeah. We have tried to shut down the pentagram.
Yeah.
We did try to shut down the pentagram, and it didn't seem to
be as bad.
Yeah. Everything seemed to have calmed down and stuff like that. But we still had a lot of things play out until one day, because we thought we couldn't move it or shut it down.
That's jump.
Oh, okay.
I want to jump.
Okay.
Because at the same time, there was a dark entity in the back shed.
That's right. Okay.
And you couldn't walk all the way through to the end of the backyard.
No.
You could only go to the pink tree.
Yeah.
Because we've got this beautiful pink flower tree and the mandarin tree. You couldn't really walk past that. I'm thinking, geez, what's going on with this? So we found out there was a dark, lower frequency, earthbound, really not good energy at all. It was scary, actually.
Yeah, I didn't like going past that tree.
Even for me. I had a friend over here, and I said, he's a psychic medium. And I said, mate, I dare to go into the shed. And he's a big guy, and he's not scared of anything. He's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm tough, and I can whatever. I'm like, okay, mate, I'm going to open up the shed door, and you're going to go in. I'm going to shut the door. He crapped himself. He wouldn't go in there. I thought you were tough. The energy was so dense and so big that even he wouldn't go in there. I wouldn't go in there. I did go in there, but after a couple of times, like, no, I can't.
I couldn't. It was just so bad.
Yeah, because you could actually physically feel the energy.
Yeah, you could feel the barrier from the pink tree.
You could physically feel it. Yeah. So then we, dealing with that as well, and dealing with this pentagram. So go back to the pentagram.
So with the pentagram, and we only discovered this maybe last year sometime, I think. With the pentagram, we had tried, to close it up because we didn't want, that's right, it was some kind of portal or doorway to another realm that was allowing this being creature to come through and do whatever it needed to do. We didn't want that anymore because this is our house now. We want our house to be safe and clean and clear, especially for us who are energy sensitive. So we tried to close down the pentagram, and we did close it down to a certain degree where it wasn't as bad until a few months ago. And I can't remember exactly what the conversation was about. We were talking about something about the pentagram, or we needed to shift energy in the house somewhere, until I got in my head, well, you can move the pentagram. As soon as that happened, Jason and I looked at each other and gone, oh, we can actually move that. We were told before that we could not do anything with the pentagram. Now all of a sudden we can move the pentagram.
And during all that hoo-ha playing out, remember we were sitting on the floor and pretty much having a conversation with these women, and I'm thinking, oh crap, I'm male. I slightly soiled myself back then.
I'm just getting, please, any women who do get sensitive by this topic, please don't take offense to this, because this is just our experience.
So this is what played out here.
It
was picked up and then transmitted back to true source.
Yeah.
To be, used as a beneficial, positive energy.
Yeah.
Because that pentagram and these particular women, I really felt sorry for them, because they were talking to me about not what happened per se, but they were done badly by these by particular men, and they were just, I guess,
they were hurt.
They were hurt and wanted to do a bit of a payback. And, and they did a magic to create so it wouldn't happen again. And I get that. And so I had to, in a way, prove my case that I'm not like one of those men. And I told them exactly who I am, what I do, how I respect and honour you, and respect and honour women and stuff like that. So I was very blessed that they left me alone and didn't play out what they would have wanted to play out, simply because I was male. So I was happy about that. And I really could feel the pain of these women. It was pretty, and you being female as well.
Yeah, I completely understand, because as a woman, I don't know why, but we can't help but give our whole heart when we fall in love. And then when it's not returned in the way that we hoped, it does hurt.
Or misused.
Yeah.
Or all that. Yeah.
Yeah, it does really hurt us. And I don't know, I think maybe we're just so sensitive because we just want to be loved pretty much. Yeah.
Exactly. As we all want to be loved.
I was able to pick it up. We were both able to pick it up, and we were both able to transmute it, like you said, into more of a positive
love
symbol.
Vibration.
Yeah.
Because I've worked with pentagrams. I've worked with pentagrams and other incarnation stuff like that. So as you can research what a pentagram is, but it is pretty much the 4 elements: fire, air, water, earth. And the center represents spirit. So you're using the elements of nature to, in your intentions or your personal magic, your spirit, to create and manifest whatever. That's the basis of my perception of the pentagram.
Yeah.
And it can be used, it gets inverted and can be used. And
I think things only get inverted. I actually only feel that things only get inverted because people get hurt. And that's why things get inverted a lot of the time.
What's the next few things which are played out?
I remember the time when I was in the shower. I was having a shower, and I just turned around. I was like, my back was facing towards the door, and I just turned around and I saw this young girl look at me. And I thought, oh, this is really weird. And as this young girl's looking at me, I see a little boy run into the podcast, into this room. And that's when we realized that, okay, there's a portal or a doorway open. So sometimes even this podcast room, we do need to close the portals or doorways.
It just triggered a memory where after that, I came into this room and I said, okay, anybody that's got through this door, you've got like 20 seconds to get back through your door, because I'm going to close and seal the door. Yeah. We did that, and that stopped a lot of stuff. Yeah.
There's other things that have happened. I get a little creeped out by spiders, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that get a little creeped out by spiders. It's something about their many legs that just I just don't quite get it. One night, this is all energetic. It's storming, it's raining, it's gloomy, and I just see this spider, giant spider, in the courtyard in the rain. And my heart just felt so bad and so sorry for this giant spider.
How big was it again?
Probably as big as a house.
Okay.
Yeah, probably as big as a house. My heart just felt so sad for this being that was caught out in the rain and had no protection or no home, that I decided I was going to, invite it into the house. Bit of a mistake. We have corrected that. However, my heart just went out to it.
I lost my mind.
And I literally lost my mind, actually.
Because spiders they're very, very good at psychic, mental realm and manipulation and putting thoughts in and streaming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this one was not an exception.
No, this one was a very strong one, and possibly used my good intention, to get its way into the house, kind of thing.
And my perception of it wasn't as big as a house.
Oh, what was your perception of it?
It wasn't as big as a house. It would have been, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 foot by 5, 6, 7 foot.
Isn't that as big as a house?
No, baby. It's not as big as this big. This room's 4 by 4 feet.
Oh.
Yeah, but in your mind, it's as big as a house.
Well, because even the smallest of the actual physical spiders to me are big.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess...
Because people are going to say, how did it fit into the house if it's as big as the house?
But this is all energetic.
Yeah, I know, but still.
So, okay, in my mind, even the smallest of spiders, like this morning I helped out a daddy longlegs get out of the bathroom sink. For me, that's big. It's big. So even the smallest of spiders are massive to me. Anyway, going back to the story. I actually had to tell the spider to leave, but that was after all the psychic attack went on. And is that the same time when you just lost it and said that's enough?
Yeah, around the same time, after 6, 7 months. It was quite a while. Because it's like, okay, whatever. And then I got shown they were living, not just the big spider in the ceiling, but there was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of spiders, which were a lot more smaller. I don't know if the spider created more little spiders, or it asked all its friends to come and live in the roof.
And have a dance party.
Have a dance party. So we were getting psychically streamed and negative thoughts, bad dreams, like pretty much non-stop. And we didn't think too much about it or connect it to the spider on many levels, which would have been part of the psychic manipulation as well. Until I lost my mind, I said, that's it. If you guys don't, I opened up the front door physically as well as energetically. If you guys don't get out of here now, I'm going to blow you guys up. I'm going to destroy every single one of you, regardless of it's nice or not. But you had to be here living in the experience. It was very destructive, harmful energy.
Yeah.
It was pretty much our lives on a level, or our insanity on a level was on the line. So I had to really just, enough's enough. Yeah. And then they all ran out. And there was so many of them. I was overwhelmed thinking, I'm making this stuff up. I need to be medicated. So anybody out there is like, I need to be medicated. Yeah, probably do. So they all left, but we did still have trouble getting rid of the big spider, because you had to get rid of it.
Yeah, because I was the one that invited it in, I had to get it out. I don't fully remember how I got it out.
I don't remember either.
But I remember the door was open, and I don't know if I imagined myself being as big as the spider or something, or I flung it out the door. I'm not 100% sure, but that spider landed outside, and I remember it trying to come back in and knock the door down or something along those lines. With the big one, I had to get rid of the big spider. Yeah.
And then I was told very much later that I was mowing the lawn at the front, and I was told by one of my friends in spirit that spider lives in the tree next to us and it was sleeping. But what it was doing was manipulating and also weaving. It had its web through the neighborhood. Remember we were talking about that, and it was manipulating and doing what it needed to do because it needs a energetic food source as well. So I hate to think what the food source is. Maybe our energy.
Probably everyone's energy around
Everybody's
here.
energy.
Yeah.
Because our particular neighborhood is pretty... It's low key, it's not noisy except for the neighbours next door, but there's a lot of energy being taken from the neighbourhood.
And a few times I've actually seen giant spider threads through the street or through the courtyard.
In the backyard.
Because we live in a court area, I have seen like giant spider threads because we have also felt that the energy around the area that we live in now it's better than it was before.
We've done a lot of work in the neighbourhood.
It is better than it was before, but it was very dense, very harmful energy on a psyche level, mental level. Yeah.
And I'm just remembering we did a healing session with a friend from America, a psychic medium. He did a clearing of the land as well, and he said that he was shown at the very back there was a mass killing at the back of the property. So that be part of the energy of this area. So I feel like we always get these areas which are just... And our job is to help clear them somehow.
Be nice if we could just get a home that's already just beautiful. Energetically, physically, just beautiful.
Tell beautiful stories.
Yeah.
So we finally moved through as much as we could the spider energy and all that sort of stuff. But it does, I feel, play out occasionally.
Yeah, I do feel that it does happen off and on, but not as much.
No.
No, not nearly as much, which is a really good thing.
Yeah. Because we found out that there's been a lot of interesting stuff play out with neighbours as well.
Yeah.
With mental issues and suicides and stuff like that, which would play out with the energy of this particular neighbourhood.
Yeah.
Because you've had to really nut out with your mental stuff as well, and that's being amplified for you to go a little bit troppo. So we've had to do a lot of work of that, and it's not just being you, it's being, I think, and it's interesting. I was going to say it's just targeted women, but I'm just, the stories I've heard, it's both men and women.
I think it just affects them differently.
It depends on how in tune or how sensitive you are, if you're conscious of it or not. Depends on what you pick up as well.
Yeah, that is another story that happens almost on a daily basis while we live in here.
Yeah, just the energetics.
Yeah.
And then you've seen greys run through the house.
Yes, I have seen greys run through the house.
Watch us sleep.
Yes, I have seen greys watch us sleep. I have woken up from deep sleep and turned around and there's a grey staring at me. I've seen spirit in the room too. Yeah, there's a couple of times where I've seen spirit in the room.
Yeah, my family members.
Yeah, and there's also one time where I saw an AI robot in the hallway.
Right. That's right.
You know when you fall asleep and you're in your room or you're in your house, it's not completely astral. You're still in the room, like the actual house area.
You're just tuning into the level above.
Yeah, it's just a different frequency or a different level above, but you're still in the actual house. And I remember seeing a robot. Literally a robot walking through our hallway. And I don't know what happened after that because it was just a split second. But yeah, I do remember seeing a robot walking through our hallway. What are some of the stories that you remember?
A lot of helicopters.
That's right. A few times, especially at night time when I'm waking up and I can hear like a rumbling noise, and it may sound like a helicopter, but it's actually not a helicopter because on another level, my psyche is saying, go away, craft. So for me, it sounds physically like a helicopter, but on another level, it's actually not a helicopter.
Yeah. And so we've had a lot of craft and cloak craft on a different frequency.
Yeah.
Monitoring. I don't know just us or the whole area, but it feels like just this house is being targeted.
But it could also be that because, we talk about the things that we talk about and we are sensitive and probably a bit more susceptible to understanding what's going on different levels. Maybe that could be the reason why. And
we've had some bit of trouble with MIB as well.
Yeah.
Being on their S list.
Their
Can't
radar.
use the word anymore because YouTube will cancel that. Their crap list.
Yeah. Can you even use the word crap?
We'll find out.
Okay. We've just been on their list. Their naughty list. Let's just say that.
Yeah, their naughty list.
We've just been on their naughty list. So we've had a few run-ins with them as well.
Which goes back for probably 5 years or 7 years.
I reckon it goes back longer than that.
Yeah, but I can remember.
Yeah, I reckon it goes back before we even met. It's just that it's a bit more amped up now.
Yeah, because we're together.
Yeah.
As soon as we got together, that was it. And then I did a healing on FaceTime, not in the kitchen, but where we do computer stuff. And I don't know why I didn't do it in the healing room, because the healing room's all blocked off to pretty much all lower frequency energy. Then after the healing, it was a good healing. And you said the healing energy, or the frequency of the healing energy, spiked up the energy around the area. So there was a craft that came flying past to see what the spike was in the energy field. And I'm thinking, I won't be doing healings in that area again.
Yeah. Yeah, we had beings come down. And this is actually a really good point, because I always had this perception that beings on different levels, different realities, always knew everything about us. Like they just knew everything about us. But after having this experience, I now realize that they don't know everything about us.
But frequencies are monitored.
Yes, frequencies are monitored, but I'm in my mind is like they know just exactly every single detail. They can't know every single detail because, for example, this ship that just was flying through saw the spike and has gone, okay, well, let's go find out what
that is.
Yeah, so clearly they don't know who you and I are. They just know that there was a spike. And so that to me is like, they didn't know us. They just knew that there was an energy spike and came down to see what caused this energy spike.
Yeah.
So to me, that says that they're not they don't know everything.
Well, not that particular group of beings. And I'm also remembering being monitored and having reptilian handlers with us as well. I've been dealing with them not just this lifetime, but heaps of lifetimes. So I'm being on their naughty list. So, and we were talking to one. We were meant to go to a party or somewhere, and we were getting all this information about not to go, and it was not good. Like, it was scary bad energetically, so we had to cancel that.
Is that the most recent one that you're talking about? Yeah, that was really not good imagery at all. The imagery I got, that there were again giant spiders, and no offense to giant spiders, because I'm sure there's good ones out there, but you guys just creep me out big time kind of thing. But there were these, let's say there were these creatures. There were these creatures at this party.
So I was getting more bug type, not spider per se. Were you getting spider?
I was getting spider.
I was getting like the bug.
Yeah. Well, okay. Scrap spider. Let's just go with bug.
Yeah. Bugs. Yeah.
So there were the information I was getting was there was an insect. There was definitely an insect, and these particular insects were actually feeding people on an energetic level, but that was not, think of Aliens, the movie Aliens, kind of that style, and that was not a good thing.
Feeding from the people inside, from inside out.
No, giving them something. So like the movie Aliens, where the aliens stuck to your face and fed you something, put something in the body. That's what the imagery I got. That's what I got, and that was not good.
Yeah, I got that was happening, and then at the same time they were sucking or eating them from within. So a bit like a zombie, because I want to make a movie from this.
Yeah, he did.
Because I've got this grand Hollywood movie, but what we were told, what was playing out in our minds, like, geez, that'll make an amazing movie. Be complete horror.
That's right. But I want to go back to the helicopter thing. With the helicopters, what we discovered is that for some reason, the helicopters that used to fly, not so much now, but about probably last year sometime, a lot of the helicopters that flew over were actually, I felt were giving some kind of dense frequency, because I could feel it. I could feel on a psychic level something just wasn't up. And I remember one time that I think we were doing computer work, we were podcasting or editing or something along those lines, and I didn't really take much notice. All of a sudden I could hear this helicopter in the background, and as it was like spinning and spinning, or the blades were spinning, I could feel this heavy, dense vibration. It was almost like there was some kind of a laser stream beam gun thing that was streaming. It probably wasn't, but it felt like it was aiming at this house.
It was emitting a really scary frequency.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, when I realised that was going on, I put on my cap, and within seconds they were gone.
Yeah, because Alison needs aluminium in her cap. Watch the 5G network and you'll get to understand what she's talking about. I know it sounds funny and, get off the drugs and that type of thing, but it is what it is.
This is our life.
While we're here.
Well, yeah.
So what else is on the list?
What have I got on the list?
Because these are just a few things.
Oh, the cyclotron.
Oh, yeah, the energetic circle / cyclotron in the backyard, which was associated or attached to you, because you're special that way.
I was just about
and we had to get some help from somebody in Japan, and she was wonderful and very helpful with helping us remove that. And with that, because we had really bad weather for a long time. Yeah,
we couldn't quite. We knew something wasn't right because we could feel something wasn't right, and I don't know if it was months. It was months that we
rain.
Yeah, if you ever remember, like constant rain last year, but to a point where you couldn't even smell the rain. That's when I realized something was not right, and it was happening for months and months, and it was just gloom, gloom, clouds, gloom. Dense energy, rain, it just non-stop. And like you said, we spoke to this lady from Japan, and another psychic medium, and she was actually able to help us understand what was going on in the back, because we couldn't understand, I think because we were living in it for so long.
And we didn't know the terminology of what a cyclotron was either.
No. And so she was able to actually help us identify what was going on. And then we realized that was connected to me because I was wearing a ring around my necklace that was connected to the cyclotron.
And connected to one of your eyes as well. Yeah. So anyway, that was cleared.
I know it sounds strange, but yeah.
Yeah. It was cleared and the weather shifted.
Yes.
Sun came out, clouds went. It was a completely different reality.
Because I was wearing a hematite ring on my necklace.
Magnetized,
because hematite is magnetized. I needed to break it, and I'm like trying to snap it with my hands. Couldn't do it, so I got the hammer out, broke it, and then we buried it. And you're right, like within minutes, the clouds just parted. It was like one of those moments.
And that's when we really do get tough financially, and all the lockdowns and all these other things playing out, and we're like beside ourselves. We don't take drugs, all right? We don't do drugs.
We don't need to.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Yes, I did ayahuasca, but that was only once.
Yeah. Oh, you take LSD and you do cocaine. No, we don't do anything like that at all. We're energetically sensitive and can see through other realms.
I do keto. I am back on keto, so I don't know if you can classify that as one.
Yeah, keto junkies. No carbs. Anyway, get back on track.
Back on track.
Yeah, so we worked out that it's probably the spider as well. There's an actual entity or energy which we thought was just taking our creative energy.
Oh yes, that's right.
You were on the computer editing and then you got tired.
Yeah, we just had holidays, Christmas holidays. Jason, you had to go back to work a week earlier than what I did. I was just editing on the computer, and we have children next door that, they scream and shout, and they're being children and do what they need to do. And I didn't really notice it. Then all of a sudden, like the frequency shifted, and I picked up on their screams. And as I did that, someone walked through behind me, because my back is facing our back sliding door. Someone had walked behind me and just decided to take my energy, as if this being had triggered the children to change the frequency for me to prick my ears up so that it could identify where the energy is to harvest. If that makes sense, because it sounds Does that make sense?
Capturing a fly in a spider net.
Yeah.
Spider web.
Yeah, something a bit like that. Yeah, it's pretty much because my energy was very neutral, very contained within, I was just editing. And then I reckon the minute I picked up that frequency, my energy stepped out.
Yeah, because we've had a lot of issues with being really good of energy, being really creative, and then something would fall by the wayside, or we would be slammed with tiredness. And then the other day, and I feel like you were spot on, whatever came through just collects creative energy or people's energy, and I think it does the round. It's like it's going to Coles to get some food.
Yeah.
So we're working on how to stop that from happening.
Yeah.
Because that's been playing out since we've been here for the last 3 years.
Yeah. Actually, if something like that, you feel like something like that is happening to you, do a smudge on the house, because that's what we've been doing. Smudge the house, clear the house. We did talk about this on the last podcast of Jason's clearing sprays and how we clear the house. We still use smudge as well. So if you feel like you're going through that kind of thing where your energy levels feel a little bit low, but you know that you're always full of energy and all of a sudden next minute, you know, you've hit a wall. It could be maybe that there's something going on in the house or someone's just sapped your energy, and just give a good smudge. If you've got a clearing spray, spray yourself.
And also, like, spring clean the house as well.
Yeah.
And I always get told, my mother was telling me, Jason, you need to also visualize sweeping out the stuff from the house. So do a visual sweep through the whole house and get rid of all the stuff, because we do accumulate a lot of lower frequency energetic stuff just by us going into the world and being with people. I mean, people got a lot of things going on. Yeah. And I perceive the aura to be a good attractive. It attracts a lot of...
It's sticky.
It attracts whatever.
I like to think of it as smooth, because I just want
it is smooth, but it does attract... You know, you're just mingling in. Unless you're at a really high frequency where it just all gets transmuted automatically, like your aura is a bug zapper, then you're right. But if you're not at that level, that's why showers are really good.
Oh, I love my showers.
Did you know that the running shower is representation of the male and female frequency?
You did tell me that before.
So the water is feminine and the movement is masculine. Yeah. So that's why it's so good for you. The water, if it's stagnant water, which is the feminine vibration, if it's stagnant and not flowing, that's when you get stuck, and that's where things are not moving. So you need that masculine energy, the action moving, to it with the water for things to move. So if life is stagnant, then there must be something that you need to clear, or some sort of action that you need to do
to clear it
out.
Yeah.
So spring cleaning your house, smudging it, clearing you, doing everything you can to get that energy moving, which we've been doing since we arrived here. Really.
Yeah. And I like to also, I don't always do it, but sometimes if I remember, set the intention that the shower is transient silver coming through it.
Yeah, I do that with gold.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
So that's pretty much the gist of what we've been experiencing for the last few years.
I hope it all makes sense, because it feels very...
There's been a lot.
Yeah.
There has been so much stuff, but we've grown a lot and gathered some tools along the way and all that sort of thing. And we did say just a couple of weeks ago or a week ago, maybe it's time for us to move on. Maybe it's time for us to manifest a place, what you said, that is not full of all this energetic drama. Because we are getting a little bit over clearing out land and houses, and because this is big. Because I've been in the house, every house I've been into, there's been something playing out. And I have been told I'm meant to be a house clearer, but I'm tired.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
I want to move on.
I haven't done it like as long as you have, and I'm already tired of clearing land and stuff like that. Yeah. Energetically.
Yeah, somebody else can do it.
Yeah, I would really like us to move into a place that is at an awesome level that is going to support our growth.
Yeah. So the people who believe in manifestation will say you need to be at that frequency before you can be a frequency match to that what you want.
But then also at the same time, what I've also heard from someone, if you want to manifest something, you have to have the physical action to do it.
Yes, as well. Yeah. So it's a mixture of a few things. You want to finish up?
Yep. Let's shut shop.
So thank you everybody for watching and listening to our crazy antics here on Phoenix Awakening podcast. Believe it or not, this is what's played out.
This is our reality. It is true.
And we are working on it changing. all the time?
Well, we're working on actually having a more, I'm not going to say positive, but a more freer flowing kind of experiences instead of always having drudgery and, you know, that dense energy coming through all the time. It does make for great podcast, but I think we're changing. We would love to have something that's a nicer experience.
Yeah. We could just do motivational concepts of positivity. I don't know.
We will still be sharing our experiences, crazy, beautiful, galactic, all the above.
Yeah, as much as we can. Until next time, love and blessings. See you next week, everyone.
See you later, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.